Hey guys, welcome back to another Street Fighter action figure review. Today we're taking a look at another Jada Toys figure, this time checking out Bison. Like all the other figures from this series, we have an arcade cabinet box theme, featuring a large plastic window showing off the figure and the accessories, as well as the background from his fighting stage from the game. Looking at the back, we have a picture of the figure with his name and a player select screen style of pictures of all the other characters planned to be released. More artwork is on the side along with a small bit of information on the character, and here we have a better look at that unique box shape. Removing the figure from the bottom of the box lets you easily slide out the plastic and cardboard cutout, as it won't fit the other way. It's heavily taped across all sides and will need to be cut open to get the figure out. Afterwards, you can then remove the entire plastic tray, leaving you with the cardboard stage diorama of Bison's level. Master Bison, or known as Bison, was first introduced in Street Fighter 2 as the final boss of the game, and in later updates he would become a playable character. This version of the figure is based off of his default colors in the Street Fighter 2 video game. A dictator obsessed with power, Bison looks to control the entire world by corrupting the governments using his secret crime syndicate, the Shadaloo. Bison's fighting style uses the mysterious Psycho Power that requires powerful bodies in order to fully control its power. In order to find this perfect body, Bison starts a fighting tournament where he would hope to draw out Ryu, the man who defeated his henchman Sagat. Bison believes Ryu's body is the key to mastering both Psycho Power and the evil power within Ryu that helped him defeat Sagat. Bison will remain the boss of many Street Fighter games, only to return with new bodies, but with the same evil plan of taking over the world. Let's take a look at the details of this figure. Over at the face, we have a bright white pupilless eyes, and a stern look to the face, with a frown and sharp features like his chin and cheekbones. On top, we have a red peaked military cap, with a golden winged skull decorating the center, along with a blue strap and black visor. Over at the side, we can see more details in the head, such as the ears, sideburns, and the texture of the cap can also be seen here. At the back, we only have a small bit of hair detailing this area. Bison wears a red uniform that's worn tight thanks to the large bulging chest muscles, buttoned down with a blue collar that runs down the center. The suit is textured with a thick cloth pattern, giving the sculpt a rough feel to it. Much like the front, the back is mostly featureless except when it comes to the muscles showing off the sculpt. Large bumps and creases show off the muscles in the back area. The shoulder and biceps are muscular like the rest of the figure, with much of the details here matching the chest. Resting on top of the shoulder are large silver plates of armor, used to attach the cape Bison wears or worn without it. Just like the shoulder, we have more silver armor here in the form of wrist guards, with the red uniform tucked into it. The iconic large hands seen in Street Fighter are seen here in a closed fist pose. A black leather belt straps around the suit closed, with the golden belt buckle with the lightning bolt at the center. The suit does become unbuttoned here and splits open towards the edges. We continue with the black leather belt wrapping around to the back, with the rest of the suit splitting open at the sides as the only details on the back side of the figure. Matching the red uniform, we have a loose-fitting set of pants, sculpted with wrinkles as they are tucked into the silver knee armor of Bison. Matching the wrist and shoulder armor, we have silver leg guards, covering up the entire front leg and the black boots worn underneath. The edges are brushed with a bit of black paint, making them look worn out. We wrap up the details of Bison with his boots. Mostly featureless black boots, with a small plate of silver armor covering up the top of the boots, with the only detail being the sole of the boot. Let's take a look at his articulation. We have a ball-jointed head allowing rotation, and a neck joint that sways side to side and has a decent bit of range looking down and up. The shoulder armor has its own rotation to allow more range for the shoulder. A butterfly joint at the shoulder allowing more inward and outward reach. While we can get a full rotation at the shoulder, you should take care to nurse the armor back into place or else it'll pop off. You'll want to hold the armor in place while you rotate the shoulder into whatever position you want. We have biceps that rotate, a double jointed elbow that's only restricted by the big muscles, wrists that rotate and bend up and down, a ab crunch at the chest with little range anywhere else, and a ball joint at the waist allowing rotation. Combining these two joints together gives us some great range on the crunching, especially on a bulky body like this. We have legs that open up, with the suit getting out of the way. The back bend is mostly blocked by the butt that will force you to move the legs to the side. Rotation at the thighs. Double jointed knees that bend back perfectly. We have no rotation at the ankle, only being able to bend up and downward. And a foot that twists. While Jada Toys Street Fighter figures are in the 6-inch scale, Bison is about half an inch taller, standing at about 6.5 inches. Along with his larger muscular body, this really makes Bison stand out as he just looks more bigger than the other characters released so far. Bison is much larger than Chun-Li seen here, and overall looks great for the scale of the series within itself. Next to Hasbro's 6-inch scale figures, we can see that Bison still stands just a bit taller than the other standard size figures at this scale, with Bison's bulky body still making other figures look smaller even at the same height. McFarlane's 7-inch scale will completely outsize Jada Toys' larger Bison figure, with human size figures looking much larger and bulky, and figures from other series are just way more larger to group up together and display. Starting off with the accessories, we have an alternate head in an angered expression. With the joints being so small, it's recommended to heat up the figure before swapping out the parts. After doing so, the swap is easy with minimal force needed to pull off and install the new head. It's similar to the default head in almost every way. This alternate head has a huge angered expression with even small yellow dots in the eyes instead of being pure white like in the original. We have a small set of instructions on how to remove the pre-installed cape. It's very simple, as the cape is only being held in place by a small bump in the shoulder armor. It only takes a small nudge to pop it off. The cape is made out of a plastic style polyester material with its own armor plates attached at the top with golden buttons. It features bendable wires at the edges of the cape, allowing you to pose and bend the material and keep its shape. We have another set of shoulder armor, identical to the ones attached to the cape, without the cloth. These can easily install into the armor by clipping in the front first and then the back for a capeless look. We have a pair of open palmed clawing hands. And just like the head, the joints are extremely small and can be easily removed and installed when the sockets are heated up. We come with Bison's Psycho Power effect with a hole inside to place a hand into. Using the fist hand, the effect easily slides into place and actually holds on pretty tightly. Another great figure from Jada Toys, the bulky Bison keeps its iconic look with some great articulation and features. Jada Toys continues to release Street Fighter figures that are very accurate to the in-game sprites that pull off the look very well. While it seems like a lot of toy companies these days are experimenting with cloth goods, the plastic cape fabric feels great, and just like Dalsim, it's an unexpected accessory to get. I do think the cape adds a bit of quality to the figure, and makes displaying him even more fun, and really pushes the value that you get when you pay for these figures. The paint use is minimal, with not that much fancy weathering going on, and what is applied is accurate, with the face details having no major issues. The alternate head is much appreciated, as the default head's expression is a bit lacking and boring for me, especially when Bison has all those nice crazed smiles and laughs that he does. The option to pose him without the cape is a nice feature to have, as I do own a few other figures with capes you can't remove, and that just immediately limits the amount of posing you can do with the figure. It was really a smart idea of Jada Toys to think ahead and give us the freedom to pose. With alternate hands and the Psycho Power effect, we have a complete Bison that has the range of articulation to match many of the in-game poses, even with this bulky body. A very impressive figure for an extremely fair price point. Jada Toys has surprised me on the quality, accessories, and range of articulation from the Street Fighter series. Bison, being a reoccurring boss in almost every Street Fighter game, has a few figures of him out there from other brands, but the Jada Toys version is an excellent figure to mess with on your desk, and it's looking like we're going to eventually have a full Street Fighter 2 collection as well. Hopefully we can get some alternate player 2 colors with different effects, as I would have loved to have a full body Psycho Crusher effect, or even swappable arms in that cross pose that Bison is usually seen floating with. For the insane low prices that Jada sets for these figures, there isn't another company offering this much value at this price point, while still being competitive in quality and articulation. He's an extremely fun toy to pose and play with, and fans of Street Fighter should definitely be on the lookout for Bison. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Leave a comment letting me know how you like this figure, hit the like button, subscribe, or share this video with your friends to help out the channel.